We are currently in Bethany Joy Costumes space. Bethany Joy Costumes is located in the Garment District in New York City. It didn't really click for me that costumes was a career that I could have until around my junior year of high school. I went and toured North Carolina School of the Arts Design and Production School because it's a conservatory there. Interviewed, got in, and kind of the rest is history.
How old are you?
I am 31. This is our main workroom. I moved in here 3 years ago. This is my table. My office is back there, my shop manager. This is our project tower. Once everything is cut, everything gets a bin. Our fitting room is through here. I specifically went after this space because it had a separate room already built in. It was perfect for a fitting room. And this is a little secret. You peek out our window. We have a nice balcony there in New York. I am originally from North Carolina. I did a lot of sports growing up. I played soccer from when I was like a kid all the way through high school. And actually I got offered to play in college and I actually turned it down because I decided that I wasn't gonna have a career as a soccer player. I don't think anyone knows that. Looking back, sports helped you learn how to work as a team and not be an individual. It also developed a really great work ethic. I never thought I'd have employees, I would have a space like this, but it's very cyclical and I was very ambitious and I felt like in order to make this work, I couldn't say no to work. I kept saying yes. And eventually, very quickly, I needed a bigger space. Then I needed to have someone help me. Then that someone who helped me needed to be full-time. Then I needed a bigger space to accommodate the two of us. And so it very quickly grew into the space we're in now. This is my personal favorite. My mom found these vintage iron bookends. Aren't those cute? I like antiques. I collect them. My very first studio was in Tribeca. That was a learning curve. The lease is up. I think we only signed like a 6-month lease. We got out of there. This current space I've expanded and then also downsized. So this is my 5th iteration. My first Broadway show was Something Rotten with Greg Barnes. That is always going to be close to my heart. It was the first time I saw Bethany Joy Costumes in the credits. It was the first time my labels were in a piece of clothing. So that was definitely cool. And I remember it was my first full-time employee and we were just sitting there trying to get it done. And she was like, Bethany, you should stop for a second. I was like, what? What's wrong? What? She's like, just take a minute and take this in that you're working on your first Broadway show. And I vividly remember that, and I was like, okay, great, now let's get back to work. But I'm glad she made me stop and take that in because that moment was gone after the show went up. So this is what I call my auxiliary room. So originally this room was set up for office space and I was renting it out for shows, designers, things of that nature. But because of COVID, we have repurposed it and now it's part of the shop. I wanted to create a working atmosphere that would draw people to want to work here. I was very conscious of the work atmosphere that I was creating. I was very conscious of the type of people I hire, making sure that we're all compatible, making sure that we all work well together. My stitcher, Athena, this is her right here. She loves a good pun. For her birthday, we decorated her area here all full of puns, and then we created this little wanted ad for her.
Are those frozen grapes? Like what?
Those are melon balls.
Yeah, they're melon balls. Oh, fun.
From Athena's. I like to do little fun stuff like that. I like birthdays. I like personalizing the shop. You know, we all work very closely with one another, so I'm very aware of the compatibility of everyone who works here. And in doing that, it allows us to have little fun moments like this. So we did a pun birthday for Athena. My other long-term stitcher, Brent, we made a little gremlin cave for him. So when he walked in for his birthday, there was like this whole structure over here for his birthday, a little gremlin cave. And then of course, when it's not too hot outside, all of us tend to crawl out of the window and have lunch outside together when it's not too hot.
Did you have any idea what you were in for when you started down this journey?
No, so I always felt like displaced a little bit growing up, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, why. So when I showed up to New York, kind of a light bulb went off of that, the hum of the city kind of got in my veins, and it made sense to me, and that work ethic and that ambition and that drive, I fell into it. Yeah, I just decided that, this is where, right time, right place, I'm gonna try it out and see what happens.
What do you see as your biggest hurdle, your biggest challenge that you fear the most about going forward and surviving?
Paying rent is number one, paying bills, because I have no income coming in. So that's ultimately why I made the decision to downsize, because I couldn't afford the rent. The last day my shop was open, which was March 17th. At that time, I think everyone thought we were gonna be gone for 2 weeks. So like literally when I came in to check my mail, it was like a war zone. Like projects were in the middle of being worked on. We thought we were coming back. 2.5 months later, I made the decision to bring my employees back safely, get the jobs done that we were in the middle of or that we had been contracted to do. And then my very last day where I said, you know what, guys, I have no more work for you. This is gonna be your last day for the foreseeable future. And that was July 3rd.
When do you think the next time will be when you're back here?
Probably next week to check my mail. To work? I don't know. We're gonna come back. Like, I'm gonna be, whether it's here or in a new space, my plan is to come back. Whether my employees are available to come back or not is a whole larger question and a bigger unknown right now, but it's not like I'm never gonna see them again, so it was kind of bittersweet. Come on. Yeah. It's also sad because I'm friendly with the doormen, and they look out for me. And so when I come in, I'm just kind of like, how are you doing? Are you doing all right?